Where my dogs at? What's going on, YouTube world? It's Cruising Nation 3 coming at you again with another video. Welcome to the Dawg Cage, baby. Would you rather live with the truth or die with the lie? Let's get into this and let's let the dogs out. Topic of the day. We got to talk about the quarterback position in the NFL and the NCAA and where's it headed to at this time. Tom Brady made a quote and said that we've dumbed the quarterback position down. That's why the guys are not developing the way that they should develop. And I got to agree with Tom Brady on that. If you listen to his message and you listen to what he said out of his mouth, it absolutely makes sense. A lot of these guys are struggling right now because they're getting propped up too early. They've never been in the underneath the center situation. They've been in shotgun their entire life. So by the time they get to the NFL, they don't understand how to turn their back to the defense and be able to find a way to make reads. And that has literally hindered the offenses in the NFL. Do y'all know, man, that points have been down this NFL season? All the rules, everything is catered to the quarterback. Everything is catered to the receiver. Everything is catered to the offensive guys. And the points are down. You want to know why the points are down? Because defenses have said, okay, we can't touch you guys at the line of scrimmage. We can't hit the quarterback. We can't tackle. We can't incite intimidation inside you guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to play it safe. We're going to play too high safeties, and we're going to force you to dink and dunk and force your quarterbacks to be able to make reads and force your quarterbacks to be able to throw into tight windows. And that is the key that we have going on right now in today's NFL and today's NCAA. What's going on with these quarterbacks? A lot of these guys are good athletes, great athletes. A lot of the quarterbacks today can run the ball. We got Jalen Hurts. We got Lamar Jackson. We got Patrick Mahomes, who's mobile. We got Justin Herbert. A lot of these guys can use their feet. But a lot of these guys struggle picking up coverages, struggle throwing into tight windows, struggle throwing, anticipating throws, and throwing before the receiver get open. Can some of them make passes every once in a while? Yes. But the consistency to be able to make those throws over and over and over again is where I think a lot of these guys struggle. I think the guys not underneath the center enough, so it makes it easy for the defense. It makes it easy for these guys to be able to pick up what's going on, and it makes it easy for the defense to be able to see the football. When you're in shotgun, it makes it easy for the defense to be able to read where the quarterback going with the football. But if you get underneath the center, y'all, underneath the center, and you can hide the ball better when you're underneath the center. When you're taking a snap from underneath the center, you can run play action. You can run so many pass sets out of underneath the center things, and you can manipulate the defense in ways you can't do in shotgun. When you get underneath the center, you can dictate coverage. You can condense the sets. You can make plays and motions to get your tight ends open, to get your running backs out in the flat, to get your receivers more space to be able to get the routes open that you need to get open. When you just come out in 2x2 trips in the gun all day long, there's no disguise. Even when you play action, they can still see the ball. But when you underneath the center and your quarterback has to turn his back, he can go right, he can go left, he can hide it, he can cradle it, he can bootleg. All those things comes great when you're trying to manipulate the defense and get the defense in your wheelhouse and dictate how you want the defense to play. And I think the offensive have done good job trying to cater to these guys, but it has not gotten these guys over the top, haven't gotten these guys where they need to be, and haven't gotten these guys in the development where they need to be as quarterbacks. And another thing that's hurting these quarterbacks is the expectations that we as fans, we as analysts, we as commentators, we as people who study the game of football, people who watch the game of football, put on these guys. It's not their fault if you think about it. We asking those guys to live up to expectations we created for them. We created for them. I ain't heard not one draft pick come out their mouth and say, I'm the best quarterback to ever live. When Pat Mahomes got drafted, he didn't in his draft, he didn't say, I'm the best quarterback to ever live. I'm going to win 3 Super Bowls. He never said that out of his mouth. Pat Mahomes came out and said, listen, I want to get better, and I want to try to make this team better. That's what Pat Mahomes said. But it's our expectations. So we can't get mad. And I'm saying we, because we all do it. We have these expectations. We overhype these guys, and when they don't live up to what we think they should be, we tear them down and bring them down. Listen, I'm pretty sure these guys think that they can get better. I'm pretty sure these guys think they're good. But the hyperbolicness that we put on these guys, and when they don't fulfill what we think they should do, we kill them. Not saying that some of these guys shouldn't be benched. Not saying none of that. I think what Tom Brady said, and we going back to it, these guys are playing too fast. They playing too early. The speed of the game, the disguises of the defenses are just too much for them. When they in college, they throw into open receivers. And what I mean with open receivers is 5 yards of space in between. Open in the NFL is when a DB is on a guy's back. That's open. And you got to fit that ball into tight windows. A lot of these guys don't want to throw into those tight windows because either they don't have the anticipation skills, or they don't trust it, or they don't want to throw picks. And that's cool. Be safe. Don't throw the interceptions. But what it's leading to, you not trusting what a receiver need to be, you not trusting to put that ball in that tight window right there, is leading to sacks. A lot of these guys hold on to the ball longer because they waiting for the guys to get open. You can see it on all 22. These guys are waiting for them to get open and not throwing them open. And it's going around all the NFL. These guys are still in learning curves. As good as CJ Stroud is, as good as he is right now, he's still learning the game. He's still not where you need to be. Go back in history. Guys who sat down, I don't care if it's for 8, 9 games, they came in looking better because they got the understanding of the playbook. They got the understanding of down and distance. They got the understanding of being able to break down film, being able to look at the guy's mistakes, being able to look from the sideline and understand coverages. We throwing these guys in too fast and not giving them time to mess up. And you have to give these guys time to mess up. Go back. Peyton Manning came right in, started. But Tom Brady had to sit behind Drew Brees. Steve Young had to sit. Patrick Mahomes had to sit. Jordan Love had to sit. Outside injury, you see how he looking now. Some of these guys, just look at Sam Darnold. He got thrown in the fire, but he's been from team to team, and guess what it's done now? He's had time to grow. Barring injury, say he don't get hurt. Look how Sam Darnold been looking this year in the first 2 games. He looked like a well-improved quarterback because he's had time to take his bumps, his bruises. Baker Mayfield, leaving Cleveland, going to the Rams and stuff like that. Now he at the Bucs. Baker Mayfield looked like a different quarterback because he's had time to sit. He's had time to grieve. He's had time to sit back and learn and actually dissect the game of football. You ain't getting straight cover 1, cover 2, cover 4, cover 3 like you're doing in college, where it's not too much disguising and everybody's just coming out and the read is simple. And you got guys just running over. You got guys in NFL defensive scheme. You heard Brock Purdy at the end of the game versus Minnesota Vikings. He say, man, your defensive scheme is nasty. Yes, he got cover 0 looking like cover 0, but it's really cover 2. You got guys, you got inverted coverages. You got the corner guarding the receiver on the other side of the field. You got a corner on the right side, will be on the offensive right, which be the defensive left, guarding the receiver on the post. That's your guy from the other side. So the quarterback thinking, oh, man, I got a wide open post, not knowing that the inverted corner from the other side is supposed to be taking that post away, and you throwing picks. You're not used to seeing that. I've seen Peyton Manning get fooled. I've seen Tom Brady get fooled. I seen one time Troy Polamalu was at the line of scrimmage, and by the time the ball was snapped, he was in the middle of the field. And it was a 3-shell look cover 2. And it tricked Tom Brady. Guys, to understand coverage, to understand what the defense is trying to do to you, to understand the offensive playbook. These guys are used to signs, signals. These guys are used to looking to clipboards, looking to the side of the sideline to get their plays. They ain't used to hearing a play call, and they ain't heard a play call since probably high school. Even in high school, these guys getting the plays from the line of scrimmage. But to be able to have a play call called in your ear your whole life, and then you get to the NFL and they calling the play in your ear, it's a difference. It's a different understanding. It's a different cadence. And I don't think these guys get it. I don't think these guys really understand coverage, and I'm not just making this stuff up. Pat Mahomes said it after his first year in the NFL. MVP, 50-plus touchdowns. Pat Mahomes said he really didn't know how to read coverage. And that's an honest question. A lot of these guys just out there winging it, using their athletic ability to get outside the pocket and make plays. Those first couple years with Tyreek, man, Pat Mahomes was just winging it off God-given talent. You know what I mean? But to be able to sit back in that pocket and to be able to understand where to go with the ball in your hand, be able to understand your sight adjustments, being able to understand and read the safeties, being able to understand and read the corners, be able to understand and read the whole guys, being able to understand to know that if it's a guy in the slot, but if it's a guy over top of the slot defender, guess what? Most likely, depending on where he at, if he's up, you know what I mean? Some guys don't know that slot receiver coming. So they missed up on the protection, not knowing, okay, you got to read that safety. Depending on how, is he 6 yards deep? Is he 7 yards deep? Is he 8, 9, 10 yards deep? Depending on where he at. If he's directly over the slot corner, most likely the slot corner is blitzing and he's taking over. So he got to replace where that whole guy's be. A lot of these guys miss up on that. A lot of these guys don't know. That's why a lot of these guys don't get the keys to the city, like far as being able to make checks and stuff like that. We give Dak Prescott a lot of flack and stuff like that for his games, but Dak Prescott understands coverages, understands the playbook, understands the offense, and he's gotten to be able to make checks and reads. I ain't seen no Tom Brady's, no Peyton Manning's, no Drew Brees's, no Phillip Rivers in a while, and that's the old guard. And I'm not, listen, football got to go on. We got to move forward. It's a new day and age. But to get these guys to be able to find reads and to be able to think fast and be able to find their sight adjustments, knowing and how to eliminate options and eliminate routes, knowing, okay, yes, I might have trips to the right, backside, I might have trips to the right, single receiver to the left, and I might have a flood concept to the right, okay? And maybe I might motion the guy over and motion the guy back just to tell me if I'm in man or if they're in zone and stuff like that. Knowing right then and there, you got to know where to go. If I got a back, most likely, if you got trips to the right, your back going to be away from the trip side to help out with the protection, or if he going to leak out. So you're going to have 3 to the right, 2 to the left. If that, most teams, that's what they're going to do. You got to know, okay, look, depending on how many defenders over there, if I got 4 on 3 or 5, however they do it, they might be cheating over with that middle linebacker to try to play more over there. So you might have a safety deep, the corner, a whole guy, and a linebacker cheating over that way. Most likely, your play going to be to the backside where the one receiver or the running back at, to that side. And you know that coming up. A lot of guys don't understand that. It's a lot of RPO. It's a lot of run pass option to cater to what these guys' strengths are. We don't have too many right now in the NFL, too many natural just passers of the football, quarterbacks coming up with the young guys. A lot of these guys are mobile. A lot of these guys are used to running with the ball. A lot of these guys got good arm talent, but to be able to manipulate the pocket, to be able to stand in that pocket, and to be able to dissect and stand in that phone booth, guys, that takes time, that takes talent, that takes preparation, that takes muscle memory to be able to do it. And a lot of these guys, your Lamar Jackson, your Jalen Hurts, even Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, a lot of these guys didn't come from those type of offenses. So I think it's a learning curve for these guys, and it's going to take time. C.J. Stroud still learning. No matter how he looked last year, you can tell he's still learning. He's still learning and not trusting where the holes is. Sometimes I can see when he's throwing, he don't want to throw in that hole because you have to anticipate. Sometimes he wait till the guy get open. And guess what? Waiting till your guy get open can be interceptions. Waiting till your guy get open can lead to interceptions. You have to be anticipated. Kurt Warner was the best at doing it. Kurt Warner threw some picks, y'all. He threw some picks, but he wasn't a heavy pick guy. He took care of the ball. But Kurt Warner expected his receiver and trusted his receivers to be where they were going to be. And guess what? That, as a receiver and as a quarterback, that's where it comes timing. That's why you see guys struggling. They're not playing preseason games. They're not practicing. Everything is a walkthrough. I know people say, oh, it's the old guard, but these guys is not playing. Look at the quarterbacks who played in the preseason and look how they looked the first 2 games, and look at the guys who didn't play in the preseason and look at how they looking in the first 2 games. Bryce Young have been benched, didn't play a preseason game, played a series in the preseason. That's it. Derek Carr played the preseason, 2 games. C.J. Stroud played in the preseason, 2 games. So they 4 games up on a lot of guys. A lot of guys behind. I don't care how long you've been in the NFL. There's new data. You got to update your resume every single year. It don't matter what you did last year. It don't matter what you did the year before. It matters what you're going to do right now, including the receivers. Look how Jamar Chase holding out. Look how he looking. He looking like trash. Looking like Brandon Ayuk. He holding out. These guys looking like trash. You have to prepare. If you don't prepare, you will look like trash when the season starts. That's simple as that. We got to come out here. We got to perform. We got to do our job. And we got to understand what we're looking at on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. And that's the problem what's going on with these quarterbacks and these receivers in the NFL today. It's too much for these guys right now, and it's hard for them to pick it up, and the coaches are limited what they can do. These defenses are too good, but they have to dumb it down to make it fit some of these quarterbacks, and that's just facts. That's facts. If you really understand the game of football, if you really played it, it ain't no knock on these guys, but we got to be open, we got to be honest and objective about what we seeing out there on the field, and it shows week in and week out with the quarterback play. The quarterback play is not where it needs to be. Some of these guys, yes, some weeks their numbers going to look good, but it's the consistency. It's the consistency of these quarterbacks. And that's what's been hurting the NFL. And that's why the quarterback play has been down. Simple as that. It ain't what it used to be. And we got to move on, but we got to get these guys back to where they can really understand these coverages, and I think we got to give these guys time. I think they need to sit behind a guy. I don't care if it's 8 games. They need to sit half a season or a season, however teams want to do it, but they need to sit and learn the game and learn how to be a professional, learn how to watch film, learn the protections. A lot of these guys don't know protection. I see a lot of these quarterbacks ain't even pointing out the mic. I see a lot of these quarterbacks ain't even coming to the line of scrimmage pointing out the mic. That's just facts. Look at these games. They not making no adjustments at the line of scrimmage because some of them don't understand protection. They don't understand where the blitz is coming from. They don't understand where the hot guys are coming from. They don't understand it. They might go out there and play a game and have a good game, but you can see if you watch the all 22s on these guys that they missing reads because they don't see it. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Joe Montana. These guys seen it. They seen it before it happened. You see it, you do it. That's where we got to get these guys from. And that comes with repetition. That comes with confidence. And that comes with coaches being able to believe and to be able to span their offenses based on your getting better as a player. And I think a lot of these quarterbacks that we love, that we like, still have a lot to grow and still have to get better in the passing game. And once they do that, and once they really start to see it, you'll see the difference in the passing game. You'll see the difference in the numbers. Because all teams doing right now is running too high and daring teams to run. If y'all paying attention, the run game been open. A lot of running backs been getting a lot of running yards. Know why? Because teams saying we're not going to let you get deep. We're not going to give up the deep ball. We're going to force your quarterbacks to be able to make reads and dink and dunk and get checkdowns and do what you got to do to march your way up the field. And a lot of these guys can't do it because a lot of our guys looking for the deep shot. Deep shot ain't there right now. So what is forcing teams to do? Forcing teams to be able to run the ball because the box light. You got to run against a light box. A lot of these guys are playing 6-man box. 6-man box. You got to run the ball versus 6-man box and force team to bring the safety down. If you're not going to do it, these teams going to continue to sit back, and most quarterbacks don't want to take it. Because guess what? When it's 8 men in coverage, 7-8 men in coverage, guess what you got to do? You got to make a read. And a lot of these guys not used to making reads. A lot of these guys are used to playing against man coverage, something easy where they can make an easy check, easy read. No, you're going to have to throw in tight windows, and I mean tight, and fit that ball in there and hit it on the numbers. And these guys are not comfortable with doing that. So what they doing, they throwing turnovers, they taking sacks because they not trusting what they seeing, and they not used to throwing in the tight windows. That's why a lot of the sacks up right now, y'all. That's why a lot of the sacks up right now. Yes, it's some linemen, but these guys are playing against 8-man coverages, and they don't know where to go with the ball because it's not clear. It's not clear. If we blitzing you and there's not that many people in coverage, it makes it a little bit more clear. But when you got all that people back there in coverage, it makes it real foggy. So guys second guessing where they need to go. And by the time they second guess, all the defensive lines in these NFL, they so good, all they need is 2 seconds. They back there on your quarterback. You got TJ Watts. You got Myles Garrett. You got these guys over there in Dallas. They pinning their ears back. They coming. Aiden Hutchinson. Man, these guys coming. So guess what? They clouding it up back there. What coaches got to do? Run the ball. Get these guys underneath the center. If you get them underneath the center, now what that do is but you in the gun, they can just leave 2 safeties back there. Now you get underneath the center, you bring more power in, more 2 receiver sets. Now what they going to start doing? Now you're going to start getting the more cover 3. Now your flat's going to be a little bit more open. Now those holes for the tight ends going to be a little bit open in those seams. That's what we got to get to. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure y'all hit the notification button so you'll be notified. Where my dogs at? Welcome to the Dawg Cage, baby.